Hey everybody, so I took a look at my currency collection here and I wanted to share it with you. So this is a show and tell with Larry. It's also a bit of a walk down memory lane with me as I include a few stories to go along with the currency. These are notes from different countries that I've traveled. Some countries I haven't traveled to, but I did pick them up and I have a bit of a story. If I have a story to tell, then I will. I'll try to keep it short and sweet and try to move along as quickly as possible. All right. $2 notes here from the United States. $2 notes. Who doesn't like $2 notes? You know, they're unique. It's different because we're so often, looking at $1 notes here. The $2 notes I received from my grandmother when my great grandmother passed. She gave me two notes and then I added to the collection. So that's why I have three $2 notes. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right. I started collecting, currency like this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to show this. All right, sort of like this and like this. This is a $1 note that I have in my collection. It's actually a silver certificate, and if you're familiar with currency, you know that a long time ago you could walk into the bank, hand this over, and in exchange they would give you silver certificate. I think they had gold certificates too. All right, so that was the United States. I started collecting coins maybe 18 years ago, and along with the coins that I purchased, sometimes they would give me a gift, for making my purchase. And one time they gave me this Canadian note, an old Canadian note right here. This is from the 1950s, $2 Canadian note. I kept it in this nice sleeve because, you want to keep things nice, and the better the condition, the higher the value. Here's an example of what I mean by that. This is another Canadian note. It's the last note in. It was the last time that Canada printed the $2 note, and that was in the year 1986. It's listed. All the information is right here. It's nice. It's kept in this nice sleeve here. I paid $35 for this for that note. That's the only collector, the high quality collector worthy note. The rest of these, I picked these up through my travels. And let's see. So with regard to Canada, I've been to the airport in Vancouver. That's the extent of my travels through Canada. All right, so here we go. I've never been to Venezuela, but I do have Venezuelan currency, and it is worthless. The Venezuelan economy is terrible, and the Venezuelans, fled. They immigrated to Colombia, Ecuador, and any other nearby countries, and you know, and I encountered a Venezuelan woman who was desperate to, get some money. So she said, "Here, I have my currency, my country's currency. Will you give me something of value for it? Take this as a souvenir, as a gift. That's all I can give you." And I said, "All right." So I gave her Colombian pesos, I think, Colombian bills for this. It's worth nothing, but I have it. It's a memento. All right. Another piece of worthless currency is what may not be worthless because, perhaps someone would purchase it, for whatever reason, for memento, sentimental value. This is this is a 25 dinar note from Iraq during Saddam Hussein's regime, with a picture of Saddam Hussein there, watermark. You can't see it, but yeah, there's the watermark with Saddam Hussein's image in it right there. All right. Another worthless, another worthless note is this one. I picked this up from Europa Park in Germany. Europa Park. It looks like a note. It looks like a euro note, but it's worth nothing, zero. It has a watermark. It's very professional and it looks very much like a real note. Let's look at that there. Can you see that? All right, that's kind of cool, huh? Zero. It's worth nothing. And I bought this at Europa Park. 2 days after I visited Europa Park, the park caught on fire and burned. A lot of the park was damaged. 2018. Look at the pictures and stuff and video from Google. Check it out. Here's another story. This is also worthless. I checked it out. It's actually worth about 6 cents, a nickel and 1 penny of U.S. currency. This is a 10 rupee note from Pakistan. I was standing outside of the school in South Korea. I was teaching at Yeongnam University, and a young, overweight, and disheveled, dirty woman. She seemed crazy, but she did have this, and she did say, give me money, money. She was like, give me the money. So I thought I was doing her a favor or helping her, and I said, look, here's some change, and I took this in exchange. So I gave her about $1, and she gave me what is basically worth 6 U.S. Cents. But at least I have this, Now I've never been to Pakistan, but yeah, I do have some Pakistani notes like this. All right. Here, my mom's client went to Costa Rica around 2004, and when he returned, he had this as change, and he said, "Here, give it to your son. I don't need it anymore." And I decided to keep it. You know, I forgot how much this one is worth. 1,000 Costa Rican colones. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. Let's see, Costa Rica. All right, so 1,000, $1.75, $1.75 for that. All right, let's keep moving, shall we? The next country, Saudi Arabia. I traveled to Saudi Arabia. Well, I actually lived in Saudi Arabia for 2 years. Right? That's a Saudi note. This is a Saudi rial, and 3 Saudi rials. Actually, the exchange rate is like 3.74 equals $1. So I'm just shy of $1 right there. All right, let's get to, okay, we'll stay in the Middle East now. These are Middle Eastern currencies from Oman, the country of Oman. All right, so here we have, this is 1 rial, and this is the equivalent of like $2.60 or so. I checked the exchange rate. This is 1 Omani rial here. And this is a smaller note. It's called the Omani Besa, Central Bank of Oman. It's the equivalent of like a dime. All right. And the image on the currency is that of Sultan Qaboos, who recently passed away. All right. Oman. All right. Still in Asia, here are some Chinese yuan. I went to China in 2015 and climbed the Great Wall of China. I believe this is also Chinese. Yeah. Not very valuable. It's probably worth, a penny. All right. Still in Asia. All right. Let's see. I traveled to Sri Lanka. This is a Sri Lankan note here. There you go. See that? A note from Sri Lanka. Traveled to Cambodia. Let's see what we got here. And Vietnam. All right. Let's see. All right, we're going to finish this up. We're going to wrap this up in the two countries that I have left, Cuba and Ethiopia. These are countries that impressed me tremendously when I traveled there. Just behind me are several photos I took while in Cuba. Let's see. I took that one at the barber shop. These were some ladies on the tour with me. They had colorful toenail polish, so I took a photo of them. They are from the United States, but the floor is in Cuba. This is the barber shop where I got my hair cut one time. Just behind me is a picture of the sun setting on the Malecon, which is the edge of the it's the street, and it's where the ocean and the island meet. The Malecon. It's the walkway. It's the street. It's all of that along the coast. That's what that is there. And then on this side here, there's a picture of the Capitulo in Cuba, and a Cuban 1950s Cuban car. Let's see if we can, yeah, slide that over like so. Yep. Oh, look at that. And then we have the in Egypt a $1 bill with the pyramid on the back, and then I was there with the actual pyramids. Like, look at what the Americans are trying to duplicate or replicate. Look at this. Okay, so Ethiopia. All right, so these are Ethiopian Ethiopian birr. These are old notes right here, and the Ethiopians were glad to hand these to me. They're like, here, you take these. We don't need them. So I said, fine, I'll take these, and I'll keep them. And so I did. All right, so let's go back to Cuba. All right. I have several notes from Cuba. This is the one peso. All right. A revolutionary picture with Fidel Castro and Camilo Cienfuegos on the reverse, and then on the front we have poet Jose Marti. Jose Marti on that right there. All right, those are on the 1 peso notes. So what's next? 2 pesos? Nah. Cuba and the U.S. don't want to do anything, similarly. So instead of a $2 note or a 2 peso note, Cuba has the 3 peso note. Che Guevara's image is on there. Back there. All right. Next we have $5 or 5 peso notes. Cuban 5 peso notes right here. And I have several of them, as you can see. That's why it's a little difficult for me to turn them around. Republic of Cuba. All right. And then finally we have the 20 peso note. Whoops, I failed to tell you who was on the 5 peso note. This is the Bronze Titan. But I'm noticing also there's an image of a woman on this side, and I don't know who she is. I hope that's a woman. But on this side here, we have the image of the Bronze Titan, Maceo, Afro-Cubano general, famous. Very proud to have this, to own this note here. And then Camilo Cienfuegos, friend to Fidel Castro and Che Guevara. He's on the $20 note. All right, so those are the notes. Those are the notes that I have collected throughout my travels. Many of these countries I have visited. Some of them I have not. And these are the bills, the currency bills that I've collected. All right, let's see what we got in there. All right, I hope you enjoyed my video. Peace.